Good morning, you two. It's another thrilling morning. 8 a.m. Tuesday. August 9th, 2022. Straight up 8 a.m. So it ended up taking me a whole lot longer to get home than I planned on. I figured when I ended that video down there in Van Buren Street that it would just be minutes until the bus showed up. Man, I ended up waiting there over 45 minutes with like 5 of my coworkers. Yeah, pretty crazy. Apparently the bus that should have showed up while I was sitting there talking and looking at the double rainbow just didn't run. So of course the bus that I got on, even at 79th Avenue, was already packed, and it was absolutely packed all the way to the far side of downtown. I want to say probably about 16th Street. It started to kind of ease up at 16th Street. So check out this homeless guy here. He's been working on getting his foil loaded with his fentanyl for a while. Passed him when I walked out of QT. Went in there to get some tea, and that guy just blatantly doing his drugs, just setting him up, doing his drugs right there. It's just crazy how brazen the junkies are these days. I mean, I don't know. I think back in the 90s when I was a pothead, and I mean, not like I didn't smoke pot out in public, but I wouldn't have done it in a spot like that. Just the cops might see me, you know? Nah, never would have done it in a spot like that. Like I would have done it, I don't know, a little more casually hidden spot. Like maybe about halfway down in the middle of the park behind a tree or something. But not right in a parking lot, not right behind, not just out in the open. Or somebody could shoot video of me doing it. But I don't know. You see the homeless are out and about around Pierce Park this morning, and the junkies are up bright and early doing their junk. Anyway, so yeah, it ended up being about an hour longer ride home. But on the bright side, I didn't get my new shoes all muddy, and that's the important thing. And I actually had a pretty enjoyable ride on the 3. I'm not exactly sure where. I want to say somewhere around 67th Avenue-ish. Some dude got on that I had this great conversation with, just about how long I'd been. It kind of started with like him tripping out on how busy the bus was and how long he'd been waiting, and I'm like, yeah, I work at Amazon up the road, and there are 5 of us who waited over 45 minutes. And he's like, yeah, it sounds about right. He said, I've been waiting 45 minutes myself. And interesting thing about the Van Buren bus, Route 3, at that time of the morning, headed westbound, is that pretty much everybody that's on it is a blue-collar worker. Damn near everybody that is on that bus is on their way home from a graveyard shift at either some kind of a warehouse or some kind of an industrial manufacturing facility. And he told me, and he was actually working at a place manufacturing something. I forget exactly what he told me. I forget. He was working a 12-hour shift. It's like, damn, I thought my 10.5-hour shifts were long. But yeah, he was working at 12, working some kind of machinery, building something. Damned, usually I'm pretty good at remembering that kind of stuff, but damned if I can remember what it was. But anyway, yeah, we were just mostly talking about how that's sort of a different kind of a crowd compared to most buses, and just how shitty it was that the bus before wasn't running, which surprisingly wasn't causing the bus we were on to be late. In fact, it had to stop a couple of times for the schedule to catch up with the bus. So, props to the bus driver for at least keeping it on time in spite of all the extra pickups and drop-offs. But yeah, no, we had a great conversation, and I showed him how the Valley Metro app worked. Yeah, you can, because he told me he used Google Maps, and you really can't tell if a bus isn't running. I mean, Google Maps has a pretty good integration of transit in it, but you can't really tell. You can't really tell with it if a bus is actually running or not. At least I don't think so. I've never noticed it. Although I used it a whole lot more, in Portland than I did in Phoenix. I mean, pretty much after my last stint, because I had about 8 months ish of being without my car while I was waiting for the engine to get put in. Now I'm going at a little over 3 weeks, but I had about 2 months, a little over 2 months that I had a car, got to feel human again. Anyway, but yeah, that was a great conversation with him, and and I was showing him kind of the finer points of the bus app, and how to tell, because it doesn't, for a while the Valley Metro app was saying if a bus was canceled. Like you click on a bus stop, and you click on the buses that were on the way. So suspect porch pirates every time I see an Amazon box like this, especially the way the homeless population has ticked up here lately. Anyway, didn't have my name on it or my address on it, and someone else's name, so that's the important thing. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, for a while there, it was telling if buses were canceled. Like you look at an upcoming list of buses, and if it wasn't running, it would say canceled on it. And I've still got some screenshots of when it said that. It was one of those times I took a trip up to Guitar Center to get some cords, and yeah, several of the 106s were canceled as I was trying to get over to 19th Avenue on using the Peoria bus. But now it's back to the same thing where it says scheduled instead of saying on time or saying delayed. And then when you click on it, it'll have the red text message that says tracking is not available for this vehicle, as opposed to a gray text message that says tracking will be available when it starts its route. So anyway, I just wanted to share this video just to kind of denote how much longer that ride took me. On a brighter note, I ended up having about 15 minutes for my transfer over at Van Buren and 44th Street, which was just enough time to oh, that cat is so pretty. That is way too pretty to be a feral cat. Yeah, where I had enough time to walk over to the Burger King, and it was late enough in the morning that they were actually open. The inside was open, so I was able to get the 2 for $6 double breakfast sandwiches. So looking forward to breakfast and laying down. As expected, Priscilla is here. She told me she signed a lease on a new place yesterday. Things are a lot more civil with us, I think, today. She's actually been texting me this morning, and it's been oddly friendly, which is really saying something considering how ugly it got Saturday night. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. Go eat my breakfast and get some sleep. And hopefully today, my tomorrow, will be a little bit better day. But for the most part, yeah, good day at work. Longer bus ride, but still, all in all, a pleasant ride home. So anyway, thanks for coming with me on the walk.